entangled with the web of this controversial task force.
Now, small boy where they sell pouch, they sell this screen guard for inside market. You know, just show now line B.
Okay.
So they say they carry and come as they carry and come mobile court. They say me bring 15,000. The boy no get money, come on 5,000. He no get money. Now run when they run. Now in the prison order follow and they follow and go inside bush, go shoot down for zone 5 there.
It's ordinary task force, chief task force. Chief task force.
Yes. These incidents, unfortunately, did not end there. In the aftermath, it has been reported that 3 more individuals have been injured and over 20 cars have been burnt in this market premises.
That boy not a steal. Yes. He come to look for what he will eat and they kill him just like that. We're paying them with our own money and they're dealing with us. If you piss, the cash will handcuff you, take you to Kuje, take the vehicle.
I don't know where to start again. This is what I have labored for more than, at least, you see I'm getting old. So since when I was young, I started this since 1980s. So I don't know how it will be like. Government should please assist me.
Further fueling the anger and distress that have now engulfed this community, imperative to acknowledge that the sentiments of the local populace are still raw, with many questioning the circumstances surrounding this tragic incident. This has been Kamakama reporting for NTA News, bringing you the latest updates from the Use Market, Abuja. We will continue to monitor the situation closely and provide you with further developments as they unfold.
Thank you, Kama, for bringing us up to speed on that unfortunate incident. Now, report just reaching us says President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of the chairman and commissioner of the FCT Service Commission. The president has also approved the appointment of permanent secretaries and chief executives of critical agencies of the FCTA. Details of this in our subsequent bulletin. Now, the Abuja nation's capital is safe and secured for foreigners to conduct their businesses. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, stated this when he received in audience the ambassador of Poland to Nigeria, Nta Channel, who paid him courtesy visit in Abuja. Onozi Yakubu has details.
Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, reiterates that there is improved security in the nation's capital city, thereby ensuring all forms of businesses to thrive. He expresses the administration's willingness to partner Poland in exploring her agricultural potentials.
Abuja is the capital, and you can see how safe it is. It's one of the lovely cities everybody would like to visit. On our part, we are willing to have a collaboration with Poland. I know that Poland is very good in, particularly in agriculture. I know that Poland is very good in agriculture.
Meanwhile, the Polish ambassador to Nigeria discloses that she has been in Nigeria for more than 5 years as an ambassador, describing the host country as a second home.
I'd like to say that Nigeria is a very interesting place, and I am very happy to serve here. And I'd like to say that I came to pay a courtesy call to the minister and to assure that our country would like to continue developing the good bilateral contacts we've had for many, many years.
She further reveals that other areas of collaboration that will enhance bilateral relations of the two countries will also be explored. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Now, FCT Minister of State Dr. Maria Mahmoud has called on women leaders of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, to come up with ideas that would support the Renewed Hope initiative of the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, to succeed. The minister made the call while receiving women leaders of the APC in her office. She tasked them to work together for the interest of all Nigerians. She extolled President Tinubu's style of leadership, stressing that the government is on the right track towards building an inclusive society. Leader of the delegation and National Deputy Women Leader of the APC, Hajia Zainab Ibrahim, commended the FCT Minister of State for positive consultations and engagement with all stakeholders, noting that recent changes in the nation's capital was as a result of committed teamwork.
We have to be working together with synergy. We need to know what is happening in Taraba, we need to know what is happening in Kasana, we need to know what is happening in Imo, and then how do we help our sisters back? How do we achieve? What's her method of getting closer to our women?
Now, talking spirituality, out of Allah's message to mankind, He ordains the fasting in the month of Ramadan for the Muslim faithful to attain piety. In this special report, religious correspondent examines the significance of holy month of Ramadan.
In the consensus and explanations of Islamic scholars, the glorious Quran and Hadith of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, are sufficient on the obligation of the holy month of Ramadan, which they say entails the deliberate abstinence from sexual desires, eating and drinking from dawn to sunset, with the intention to worship Allah, who has promised a special reward for those who fervently fast in the first, second, and last 10 days of the month.
Imam Al-Qurtubi is saying Ramadan is a period of burning sin with righteous deeds. It is a time, a period of submission, devotion, tireless effort to see how you can seek the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all the endeavors, in various aspects of ibadat. It's a school of increasing taqwa.
Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic lunar calendar, with a spiritual package and a turning point for mankind, who is expected to maximize the enormous bounties, mercy and favors of Allah.
And it helps those are in addiction to overcome addiction. Those are in drugs, those are taking smoking. All this one, Ramadan can help. It helps to sharpen somebody's character by being patient. It has also benefit of making somebody to be organized.
Leaders of faith say the holy month of Ramadan also guarantees spiritual elevation in status and an ideal social security of love, true brotherhood, and unity of purpose, which reflect the true teachings of the Islamic religion, with much encouragement for charity and increased acts of worship. Nigerian Muslims will be observing this year's Ramadan with high expectations for improved social, economic, and security well-being, considering the present circumstances in the country, as well as better governance. However, clerics say this Ramadan should provide an opportunity for intense prayer for country and individual leaders. In Abuja, Abdullah.
It's time now to elaborate more on the topic of discussion, which is Ramadan, and I have the privilege of welcoming Ustaz Abdul Jalil Kalani, the Deputy Chief Imam of Anwarul Huda League of Nigeria. You're welcome to our 7 p.m. news. Well, Ramadan Kareem. Well, it is a period we know that comes with a lot of spiritual rejuvenation. What should we be doing as Muslims at this time of the month?
Alhamdulillah, the major verse that draws our attention to fasting is in the Quran, chapter 2, verse 183. There, if you look at the way Allah addresses us, He says, "O you believers, O you people of faith, fasting has been decreed upon you as it has been decreed upon those before you, so that you can learn piety." Now, so that is the significance. So how to become more pious, how to become disciplined, how to become more God conscious. So, and this fasting is supposed to last from dawn till nightfall. So now, but what are the things we are supposed to do as people who fast, apart from abstaining from eating and drinking and sexual intercourse during the day? So we're also supposed to remember those who are less privileged. In fact, that is also the issue of sympathy, compassion. They are embedded in the issue of fasting. In fact, the Messenger of Allah advised وسلم, that whosoever is able to help somebody who is fasting to break his fast, whether with maybe a piece of date or milk or water, then that person will even have similar reward without detracting anything from the reward of the fasting person. So it's a period whereby we actually remember ourselves, we exchange gifts, but the essence is that we do everything to get closer and closer to Allah.
Okay, lastly, before I let you go, who are those exempted from fasting? You know, there are some that don't observe fast.
Yes, those who are exempted from fasting, there are those who are exempted from fasting now, but they may have to make up later. Those are that may have to make up later are maybe those who are ill, or they are on a journey, or maybe pregnant or nursing mothers who are afraid for the children. So they may keep fasting based on their condition when it's actually clear that they can, but they must make up after Ramadan. But there are those who, because they cannot even make up again because of age. So people are maybe 80 years, 90 years and above that cannot actually bear the burden of fasting. Then they are exempted from fasting, but they have to be doing what we call fidya, that is to feed a needy person during the days of fasting if they can afford. If they cannot afford, Allah is actually merciful, and Allah will still reward them as they do fast.
Thank you very much, Deputy Chief Imam Anwarul Huda, League of Nigeria, Ustaz Abdul Jalil Kelani, for shedding light and also explaining some of these things we're supposed to be doing. Thank you for your time on the news.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we'll move on with other stories, but this is after this break.
When you are in Abuja, Nigeria's capital city, looking for the best place for relaxation, accommodation and event spaces, then think Bolingo Experia. Bolingo Experia provides the best hospitality for all class of guests and visitors with affordable rate for our different rooms. Our presidential suite gives you a top-notch treat. Check out our executive suite, superior suite, restaurants and catering services, coffee bar, lounge, ambassador bar and a whole lot more, designed for your comfort anytime. Bolingo Experia reception from trained professionals make your stay comfortable and homely with an everlasting impression. At Bolingo Experia, we create a delightful ambience and atmosphere of joy for all. Visit us today at Bolingo Experia, 777 Independence Avenue, Central Area, Abuja. Bolingo Experia, hospitality at its best.
Up next is Sports Brief.
Defending champions of African Games female football, Nigeria's Falconets are through to the semi-finals of the 13th edition of the Games in Accra, Ghana. The Nigerian girls made 2 wins from 2 games. The coach Chris Anjume's side overpowered their Senegalese counterpart 4-0 to go top of their group, while the male team, the Flying Eagles, got a lifeline back with a 1-0 win over South Sudan. The Ladamboso boys, who scored from the spot through Sadiq Isiaka, will now shift attention to their next group game against Senegal as they hope to qualify to the next stage. Nigeria currently sits 4th on the medals table as at Monday after amassing 7 gold, 7 silver and 12 bronze medals. Meanwhile, the Confederation of African Football (CAF) has released the dates for Super Falcons vs Banyana of South Africa in the next round of the Paris 2024 Olympic qualifier. Nigeria hosts the first leg on Friday, April 5 at the MQ Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, while the return leg is slated for Tuesday, April 9, 2024 in South Africa, with venue yet to be decided. Away from that, developmental basketball in the FCT received a boost from a foundation who has adopted GSS Garki and Amide Secondary School Asokoro to mentor them. Basketball kits and balls were presented to the teams who played an exhibition match, including the Veterans Game, which had in attendance relevant stakeholders. With Sports Brief.
The remains of late Senator Abubakar Sudenge has been laid to rest in his hometown Nasarawa amidst prayers for the repose of his soul by family, friends and sympathizers who described him as a mentor whose legacies are worthy of emulation.
Hundreds of sympathizers within and outside Nasarawa state thronged to Nasarawa town to pay their last respect to the late lawmaker, Senator Abubakar Sodengi, who died in the late hours of Sunday, 10th March. Sympathizers, including Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule and other top government officials, describe his death as a colossal loss, not only to Nasarawa State but to Nigeria as a whole.
He was very honest. He was a forthright, politician, and also he was very patriotic.
Because he's somebody that we know very well. He has been trying his best to see that development strike in Nasarawa State.
There are so many politicians that he has mentored. There are so many professionals that he has mentored. For missing him, certainly we are going to miss him.
We will try our best to do the good like him.
We are praying to catch up with him. His shoes are too big. A Freetown senator, a community leader, a political leader, a mentor, somebody that will always look up to.
Some of the deceased children describe their late father as kind, humble, generous, and lover of people.
We have lost a very important, a very essential part of our lives.
He is a very, very good person. He's a father to everyone.
Late Sodengi was a three-termed senator representing Nasarawa West in the Red Chamber. He is survived by 2 wives, children, and grandchildren. From Nasarawa, Blessing and Fulani, NTA News.
That's our beats on the English segments of the news. Up next is the translations. Good evening. I am Abdullah Hajia.
Vivekwe kwa wei ngona na yo abeda zaza ishandaje zuma woni ye kwa goba ngai anya nkunwa ji no wuse jinko abwaze yin la godia shi abejin a shinze nwu kama wona le sheba we be na beda wa chige la be fata afan ko konijin aza ba wu anya zakan la jin saji amato ndu shi baya bedo no anya je akugbu banua nwuse duko osanu aya dnai no azai nba ne jin ba tuzas tuko papara ntuko yi bedo no abwaze no wuso duko yi okinzina ba jin abanu no ajibe ba be ba ze abwa to agu nba onoze yakubu wona le sheba we be na bedai wa me de minister okinzina yerson wuke woni dade ngbe kun osunkun ya osa no we go nabie ekin Poland ya nche na yo Joanna Tarczyka nche osa no wa bo sambrikachi nche minister we gabe no azagu sofa abo nla naji won ye lo wa na obwado ekin Poland ya na bagbe a kunzan ngwa na do nsofa ofaya nchedo nu aya aje omaje to je pe nje be jisesi saisi.
Nnọọ n'akụkọ ụwa nke taa, aha m bụ Rachel Ifi Ono.
gere akụkọ ụwa n'uju ya. Otu onye alaala mmụọ ebe ụgbọala karịrị 20 na ọtụtụ ụlọ ahịa dị n'ahịa Wuse gbara ọkụ n'ihi ọgụ dị n'etiti ndị ahịa na ndị ọrụ mmanye nke nwa bekee kpọrọ task force na ya bụ ogige. Onye ọrụ anyị kama wetara akụkọ na udo alaghachila etu ọ dị na mbụ dịka ndị ahịa maliteghachiri ahịa ha na uju. Isi ala anyị abụrụla obodo ahụtara dịka ebe nwere nchekwa ma bụrụ ebe dị mma maka ndị mba ọzọ ịbata maka azụmahịa. Onoze Yakubu wetara akụkọ na minista n'isi ala anyị Nyesom Wike kwupụtara nke a mgbe ọ nabatara onye nnọchianya mba Poland Joanna Tanauska mgbe ọ mere njem nrubeisi n'isi ala anyị. Igbo gere m ntị, ọ gwụla ka ọ ha anyị n'ọnụ n'akụkọ ụwa nke taa. Chebiri anyị n'ihe oge a echi niile. Ndewo.
Ẹ kú kalẹ̀ o, ẹ sì kú dédé wòyí. Ròyìn iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán ìkànnì karùn-ún tìlú Àbújá ló ń dé sí etí ìgbọ̀nyín látẹnu Mobọ́lájí Mátì. A gbọ́ wípé ẹnìkan pàdánù ẹ̀mí nígbà tí ọkọ̀ tó lé lógún àti apá kan ọjà Wuse jóná látàrí rògbòdìyàn tó bẹ́ sílẹ̀ láàrin àwọn oníṣòwò nínú ọjà ọ̀hún pẹ̀lú àwọn agbèfọ́ba tí a mọ̀ sí task force lédè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì. Alákòójọpọ̀ ìròyìn kámákámá ròyìn wípé ohun gbogbo ti padà bọ̀ sípò ní ọjà ọ̀hún lẹ́yìn tí àwọn agbófinró dìde láti pẹ̀tù sí àwọn tí ọ̀rọ̀ náà kàn nínú láàrin ọjà ọ̀hún bí wọ́n ti ń bẹ àwọn aláṣẹ láti ṣíjú àánú wò wọ́n torí pé òfò náà pọ̀ lápọ̀jù àti wípé ibo ni wọn yóò tún ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ lẹ́yìn tí ètò okòwò wọn ti jóná ráúráú. Aláṣẹ ìlú Àbújá Nyesom Wike gbàlejò aṣojú òkè òkun fún ilẹ̀ Poland ní orílẹ̀-èdè yìí Joanna Tanauska l'Àbújá. Alákòójọpọ̀ ìròyìn Onoze Yakubu ròyìn wípé aláṣẹ Nyesom sọ àsọdájú fún àlejò rẹ̀ wípé kò sí ewu ní ìlú Àbújá fún àwọn oníṣòwò láti ilẹ̀ òkèèrè láti wá ṣòwò. Ó gbé òṣùbà fún àlejò náà tí ó ti wà ní orílẹ̀-èdè yìí láti nǹkan bí ọdún 5 sẹ́yìn. Àlejò náà nínú ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ sọ ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ lórí àwọn ohun tí ó lè mú kí àjọṣepọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè méjèèjì túbọ̀ máa gbòòrò sí i. Ìdúkò pọ̀ ṣeun ní ọbẹ̀ oge títí ìwòye ọ̀la ní àṣẹ tìgbìmọ̀ ojúmọ́ ire ni yóò mọ́ wa.